Welcome everybody to the home of motorsports news and info, motorsportsradio.net. Of course, before we get started, thoughts and prayers to the folks out in Las Vegas and crazy stuff that happened this past weekend. So I just want to say thoughts and prayers. I know everybody says that, but some very bad stuff that happened. NASCAR Heavyweight Truck Series, which was just out there in Vegas on Saturday, and so again, I want to say I hope everybody in Vegas is doing okay. So let's take a look at what's going on this weekend. We got this weekend's racing schedule, and we're going to go over the round of 12. The standings have been updated. But first, a recap of last weekend's winner. NASCAR Xfinity Series on Saturday afternoon. Ryan Blaney in the 22 car winning out in Dover. NASCAR Heavyweight Truck Series winner Ben Rhodes in the 27 truck, who finally got his first win in the Heavyweight Truck Series after a crazy block of Christopher Bell, who's trying to steal his Kool-Aid, but Ben Rhodes heads to victory lane on Saturday evening. And the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series winner Kyle Rowdy Busch, who beat Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott, who was so close to getting his first Cup Series win. Kyle Busch comes and makes a last-minute pass with 2 laps left in the 18 M&M with caramel car. M&M's with caramel, that's a big thing. He's the winner of the Apache Warrior 400, presented by Lucas Oil. And again, we're going to recap the round of 12 in a moment. Formula 1 racing last weekend. Max Verstappen winning the Malaysian Grand Prix. Big news that NBC will not be broadcasting Formula 1 races starting next year. 2018 ESPN will be taking over. And we also had some NHRA action last weekend. The AAA Insurance NHRA Midwest Nationals. Pro Stock Motorcycle winner Lei Tonglei. Pro Stock winner Greg Anderson. Funny Car winner Ron Capps. And the Top Fuel winner Steve Torrance. All right, so here is the updated round of 12 for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, and we're just going to focus on the Cup Series this week. All right, so it's the round of 12. So here it is from first place to sixth place in order. We have Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Jamie Johnson, and Kevin Harvick. 7th through 12th place in order, Denny Hamlin, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Matt Kenseth, and Jamie McMurray. The 4 drivers that got cut, Ryan Newman, Austin Dillon, Casey Kane, and Kurt Busch. Ryan Newman missing the cut by 2 points. And the next 3 races coming up for the round of 12, it's going to be Charlotte, which is coming up this weekend, Talladega, and Kansas. Some sad news this week. Champion team owner Robert Yates, who passed away on Monday after a battle with liver cancer, master engine builder, and later on team owner, as engine builder, built the horsepower that led Bobby Allison to win the 1983 Winston Cup Series championship. 1989 became team owner after purchasing Rainier Lundy and starting Robert Yates Racing, fielding drivers such as Dale Jarrett, Ricky Rudd, Davey Allison, who would go to win the 1992 Daytona 500, Elliott Sadler, Ernie Ivan, and others, fielding the 28, 88, 38, 98, and the 90 cars. Robert Yates Racing racked up 57 wins, 269 top 5s, 432 top 10s, and 693 top 20s. In May of this year, Robert Yates was selected to be inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame class of 2018. In 2000, Yates received the Bill France Award of Excellence, and in 2007 received the Buddy Schumann Award for Lifetime Achievement in NASCAR. Robert Yates, 1943 to 2017. So some penalties handed out this weekend in the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series. Take a look at the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. The 77 team driver Eric Jones and the 14 team driver Clint Boyer. The 77 and the 14 were both cited for unsecured lug nuts. 77 crew chief Chris Gale and 14 crew chief Mike Bogowitz have both been fined $10,000 each. In the NASCAR Xfinity Series, the 20 and 48 teams also cited for insecure lug nuts. Crew chief Chris Geberhardt of the number 20 team and number 48 crew chief Chad Norris have each been fined $5,000. And the 21 team driver Daniel Hemrick, the 21 team has been cited for a loss of added ballast. Sounds serious. Don't know what that is, but here's what happened. Crew Chief Danny Stockman Jr., Crew Chief Clint Almquist, and Engineer Luke Mason each have been suspended for 4 races. So that's what happened there. All right. So now we're going to take a look at what's happening this weekend. Really, it's just NASCAR and Formula 1 this weekend. So here's what's on tap. NASCAR is heading to the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the October fall race, which has always been a night race. And for some reason this year, it's been moved to a daytime race. But again, Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina, 1.5 miles of asphalt. Bankings at the corners, 24 degrees. And at the straights, it is 5. No trucks this weekend. Trucks will return, I believe it's next weekend. Take a look at the calendar. Yes. All right. Now, the interesting thing about Charlotte is that next year, at this time, in the 2018 playoffs, the big buzz is that they will be racing on the infield road course, so at Charlotte. So that is the big news for next year. And another big buzz is that the Chevy Camaro will be making its debut in the 2018 Cup Series. Hendrick Motorsports was to debut some cars. I don't know if they did it or not yet, but the big buzz is that we'll be seeing some Chevrolet Camaros next year in the Cup Series. So that should be interesting as well. Formula 1 heading to the land of the rising sun, Japan. So here it is, this weekend's racing card. Starting with NASCAR Xfinity Series racing on Saturday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBCSN and PRN for the Drive for the Cure 300 presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. 200 laps, and the stages are going to be 45, 45, and 110. In the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, racing on Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern. This is going to be on the big NBC, all right? And that's going to be for the Bank of America 500. 334 laps, and the stages are 90, 90, and 154. Formula 1 racing on Sunday morning at 1 a.m. on NBCSN for the Japanese Grand Prix. 53 laps, and tires being used on Sunday are going to be soft, super, and medium. And that's going to do it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. This is the home of motorsports news and info, and we run throughout the entire racing season from February through November, and we recap all the NASCAR races as well. This is motorsportsradio.net.